You're listening to the Premier Podcast Network.
This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie! What's on your mind?
That's right, Bubba.
Yeah, fucking jabroni.
Fucking jabroni. Hulk Hogan, Hollywood blonde, piece of shit. Rest in peace, Iron Sheik, man.
Yeah.
As we're recording this on June 10th, 10:29 a.m., we unfortunately lost the Iron Sheik this week. Fucking that one hit hard. Like every wrestling death, it's tough.
Yeah.
But the Sheik one really hit hard. Just having been able to do shows with Sheik and spend some time behind the scenes with him and stuff like that. Just I'll say this: I'm glad he got his flowers when he did. Between the documentary the Megan brothers did for him, which was excellent, and the A&E biography that just came out, I'm glad they, Sheik, people got to see Sheik's real life story and get some love. But holy shit, that was surprising and out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he lived a full life. He made it to 81. God bless him. Knowing his story, the fact that Sheiky baby made it to 81. Holy shit! That's a feat in itself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he was. I was lucky enough to see him wrestle live. I was a teenager, and I brought the photo today for show and tell, so everybody can see on the Patreon group. So sign up today at patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. But there I am, right there. This is me. Or right here I am, right here. That's my brother David, and then that's Sheiky baby right there. He was a really nice guy, very nice. He was not smiling for anybody's photos, which is on brand for the Sheik.
He's
humble you jabronis, get in the picture. But he was very cool, man. Very nice guy, and he was great. He wrestled King Kong Bundy.
Nice.
I believe it was 98 at where were we? I think we were Ocean City, Maryland, down at the boardwalk, and it was a whole. I wish I had the card forever. I could probably find it if I looked it up, but yeah, it was. Both of them are gone now too, which is crazy. It's like
98 Ocean City, Maryland.
I think it was 98 in Ocean City, Maryland.
I'm surprised. I did a show in Ocean City, Maryland, right around that time.
I wonder if you were there.
That's crazy.
I'll have to look it up. I'll confirm that and see. It's Pod Squad. If anybody can do any due diligence here while we're recording.
This is when WWE was still letting people do indie shows. So there's a good chance I might have been on that show.
Maybe it's possible. We'd have popped. We loved the Blue Meanie back then, so we would have definitely popped.
I might have either tagged with Steve Richards or wrestled against him. I don't know. There's a couple matches we wrestled each other, but there's a good chance. But Sheik, man, was fucking great. There's a resurgence like late 90s, 2000 amongst the boys. Just everybody, everybody had an Iron Sheik story.
Yeah.
The word was she could set up a gimmick table in the locker room and, sell merch to the boys because we all love them because he's just a fucking character, whether it's, challenging, people at the fucking baggage claim to do the Persian clubs, in the airport, hey, jabroni, how about for America, you do the, and fucking, he's getting these fucking businessmen in 3-piece suits trying to do fucking the Persian clubs in the airport. Pre 9/11, of course.
Right.
Get away with that shit now. But or Sheik going into a fucking gym with a bunch of 8x10s going, oh, hey, how would you like to meet former WWF champion, the Iron Sheik? Is doing 8x10s and signing him all that stuff, and the lady goes, at the gym will go, okay, your rate for today would be $10. He goes, oh god damn, and he would go back and take the 8x10s back because he was doing them as like a form of currency to get out paying for the working out at the gym, and the lady was like, okay, that'll be $10. And he was like, oh no, you're goddamn jabroni, and take his 8x10s back. This different stories, man. He was such a character.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think there's so many. The fucking Dan McDevitt, who runs Maryland Championship Wrestling, had the Iron Sheik at his wedding.
Wow.
Like just to fucking be around the boys is fucking great. Just they paid him to come hang out and eat and drink and just not have to take a bump. Give him a payday. Fucking amazing. But yeah, I mean, Sheik's this wild, loud character out in public, but you get to do shows with him behind the scenes, and we did one show in Orlando. Is Legends of Heroes of 605, which was like a tribute to WCW Saturday Night or whatever, and Sheik was on there, and I remember being in the back, and they had catering, which is very nice. And Sheik leans in and goes, Baba, how about, would you get the Sheiky Italian to Pepsi? Yeah, Sheik, I'll get you Italian Pepsi. Like real soft. It's like, and then he goes out there, oh, God damn! Just like, it's crazy how he could just turn it on. But, yeah, I'm glad he had his resurgence, between, doing Stern and doing Jerry Springer. Well, Springer might have been in the 90s, but still, like, with Stern and, the Twitterverse and all that good stuff. Just, and let's give him his flowers. I mean, he was an Iranian immigrant to the United States who became a part of American pop culture.
Yeah.
That in itself is a feat, just, it's the ultimate immigrant American dream. You do come over to America not speaking the language and become one of the biggest attractions in pro wrestling history.
Yeah.
He helped launch Hulkamania.
Yeah.
So there's so many stories. I can repeat them all, but ultimately I just wanted to say rest in peace, Iron Sheik, Sheiky baby. Thank you, Baba, for your contributions to the wrestling business and making the wrestling business a better place for somebody like me to be able to participate.
He was. I think it was like also too. I think it a lot of times. Sometimes I feel like gimmicks and wrestlers can be products of their time, but he never felt like he was a product of his time. I think he just happened to be in the right place at the right time with the gimmick, right? Because you have to remember back then it was the 70s and 80s and the Iranian hostage crisis, and they're like literally fresh off of that entire thing, and the Ayatollah. I mean, it worked. And watching that heat, man, that was real deal shit. They showed some stuff on SmackDown last night, and I forgot how much heat he was. I was more, I think as a kid, I remember being more familiar with him initially as Colonel Mustafa when he came in with Sergeant Slaughter. And, again, perfect timing. He's, Slaughter becomes the Iraqi sympathizer and, just great shit, right? But then finding out, going back and watching the tapes, we'd go to Clyde's video store in Levittown and we'd rent the old wrestling tapes. And getting to know who the Iron Sheik was cool. I mean, the dude was a fucking house too. I mean, he was just a massive man. So, yeah,
such a badass.
Yeah, just a fucking bad dude. Like, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean like, he was just a fucking bad dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he could fuck you up.
Talk about stretching somebody out, man. He would fucking fuck your whole shit up.
Dude, Levy would bring him out. Reverend Bob Levy. Great comedian, would bring Sheik out to his comedy store, and they would do bits and stuff like that. And Sheik was lit up, man. He had a few, some barley pops in him. And he went to shake somebody's hand. He did something with the guy's fucking thumb, and I thought the guy went to his knees. I was like, whoa, Sheik. No.
Don't hurt him, Sheik.
Yeah. Just like one of those things where you reach out for the handshake and you slip your thumb past the guy's thumb and you just fucking twist. And the guy went, whoa. And I was like, no, Sheik. No.
Don't hurt him, Sheik. Don't hurt him.
Oh, goddamn trombone.
Yeah, humble your trombone.
Yeah. Well, speaking of humbled.
Yeah.
I went in for my colonoscopy this week.
I was just about to say, let's do a celebratory fart for Meanie's colon this week.
Now that I can actually fart without having to wear stunt. I can fart now without having to wear stunt underwear.
I mean, like prepping for a colonoscopy, right? Is got to be because you're. I would imagine, like, I've never had one, but I should probably get one. I'm probably old enough now to do that. But it's got to be like I mean, you're out, so like it's not bad, but like.
No.
The prep work, like I remember my uncle, you know, we have a history of colon cancer in my family. My grandfather and my uncle both died of it. And both my aunt and uncle have it, or had it, and had, you know, very major surgeries to remove colons, and like a lot of my cousins have it, so it's a thing in our family. But I remember them drinking this nasty shit. It was like this big bottle that they'd have to just not even chug, but like crazy. How bad was it? How bad was the process for you?
Well, here's the thing. Like, the whole thing started, I went in to get my ear checked out, and they're like, and the doctor was like, "Have you had a colonoscopy?" I was like, "Am I that full of shit?" Is it actually just shit in my ears? But no, he saw I just turned 50, and you know, if you're getting up there, get it done. The whole prep thing, it was weird because, like, we set up the appointment. They said somebody's going to call you, give you instructions. Somebody tried to call me, but I don't pick up unless it's saved in my phone. So I get a message. I go to call them back. Fucking get a recording. Go through the prompts, hit the one that would actually get me to a fucking human. So I get a human, and I go, "Hey, I'm returning a message about planning my colonoscopy." They're like, "Oh, let me take you over to scheduling." So I sat there for another 20 minutes. So I was like on hold for like 40 minutes, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you're all good to go. Most of the stuff you need is over the counter." So I thought I was going to have to get like a prescription. Like, I know people who've drank that drink that you said that they had to drink, and if you go to the website, the website for the hospital, I got it done at. They give you the instructions of like when to start fasting, and like my procedure was Wednesday. I'm not asking you. I'm just thinking out loud. It was Wednesday, so like Monday I had my last like real solid food, which was just like macaroni with some chicken in it, and then the next, and that was like 4:00 Monday, and then the rest of the time was just drinking liquid, and eating Jell-O, eating pudding. Stuff like that, like rice. I'm a big rice pudding mark.
Yes.
Love
that shit.
Mrs. Meanie hates it, but it's love when she buys it knowing I love it, and I'm about to have this thing done. So, I'm eating, and then there's like a certain point, like the day, like Tuesday, I was like, fuck it, I'm cutting everything off. You're supposed to like not eat after midnight or whatever, but I just didn't eat at all like Tuesday. Just drinking, drinking Gatorade, drinking Pedialyte, drinking tons of water. Had some some bone broth. That's like a beef. They had beef flavor, chicken flavor. I did the beef flavor just so I felt like I was eating something. Drinking that, and then started a process with, you talk about people drinking that big jug of powdery stuff. What they had us do, or had me do, Mrs. Meanie was the saint in all this. She helped me. We got 3 28-ounce bottles of Gatorade. You pour a little bit out, and you get this stuff called Miralax. It's a powder, and you fill up the cap, and you do 7 capfuls in each bottle. Shake them up. You're supposed to drink 1 bottle in the course of an hour, like sips.
Yeah.
Sips, Okay, I finished this one. Give me the next one. Sip, 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 sip. So, like, the first couple sips of the first bottle is, like, almost off to the fucking races.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fucking off. Yeah. The shit was literally on. So, yeah. And that was like a process all the way up to like 12:30. And here's how dumb I am, right? Mrs. Meanie reads the thing. It says, "You're supposed to go until your poop's clear." Now, she meant like your poop. Yeah,
What's coming out? Yeah,
you got the shits, right? And it's not supposed to be brown per se, but it's supposed to look like clear liquid. My stupid ass was thinking, oh, you have clear logs.
I could see how you could confuse that, though. That's like I could see that.
Yeah, I was like, so like I'm pooping out jellyfish. What?
I just want to know, are they see-through logs? Is what I'm trying to say here.
So it wasn't until like I was actually going clear that I went, oh, that's what you meant. And I confided in her that I'm a dum-dum. But yeah, went to bed, wore some stunt underwear just in case. But like yeah.
They're the fucking ones that have the fucking all their tried and true deals, right? Like you keep them in the back of the drawer just in case you ever need a shitty pair. Literally.
Yeah, the waistband's all baconed out and stuff like that.
Just ripped apart, just fucking no elastic. Hadn't been any elastic in it since probably 2004.
Oh no.
And they're just chilling, man. They're just there.
It's plenty of daylight. So I knew at that point I was done. So I was like, all right. The thing is, it was like about 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to get up at like 6:30 because my procedure, I had to be there for the procedure by 8. And then, the procedure was supposed to be at like 9. So, went to sleep for a little bit. Got up. I was wide awake. I was like, let's get this fucking over with. So, take an Uber over, because they put you under sedation. So it's like, you can't really do anything. So, so we go over, we get to the, waiting room. We find the building, get in there, find a waiting room, sign it. And, the lady goes, oh, they put you on the wrong schedule. I went, what? Just like, huh?
Man, I've been shitting straight for 24 hours. You gotta be kidding.
I was like, you are putting me through. She's like, oh, let me get you on the right schedule. It's like, all right. So, got me on the right, and long story short, she's like, here, go up to the next floor. You're already signed in. It might be, instead of 9, it might be 10:20, but since you're already here and signed in, they might get you in early. No sooner I get off the elevator, I'm filling out the paperwork, like just 2 sheets. Somebody comes out and goes, Heffron? I was like, oh, all right. Give the wife all my stuff and, say goodbye. And they whisk me off, and I have to put on the robes and the funny slippers. And I'll just say the staff was really cool.
That's cool.
They got me down. They got my IV going. They got me my heart monitored up, all this shit. And, I'm sitting there in the hallway waiting for my turn, and somebody's like, "All right, it's your turn." I was like, "Oh, time to go to the spaceship." They're like, "What?" I was like, "Anal probe," which kind of got a good laugh, They got me in there. All the doctors, all the nurses were really cool, really unsettling. Like not unsettling. Like whatever nervousness I had went away.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, they made sure I was at ease. This is what's going to happen. Blah 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 blah. There's 1,000%. There's less than a 1% chance of this, that, and the other thing, and. Okay. And they hooked me up to the gas. Well, they had me roll over. I was like, oh, this is easy. This was my normal sleeping position anyway.
Perfect.
Get on your left side. And I was like, dude, this is how I sleep every night. I think I was actually asleep before the gas kicked in. I was just like, yeah. I wake up to a guy going, Brian. And I'm like, hey. I wake up from the anesthesia. And I felt fine.
Yeah.
Like it felt like I took a power nap. Like, when, you're having a busy day and, you're like, let me just close my eyes for a little bit. And I was out for the procedure took 30 minutes.
Wow.
And, I woke up. I was just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And the guy gave me some crackers and ginger ale. I was like, hey, can I get another one of those ginger ales? And, he's like, here's your clothes. Blah, blah. I stood up, got dressed, and I was like, let's rock and roll.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
In and out, dude. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. The bee hole was fine. I wasn't hurting. My mud button was intact. The threading was still on the mud button. It was good.
That's amazing.
So, went up. Mrs. Meanie was in the waiting room. We tried to figure out how to get off the spaceship because somebody had to come with their sledge cart and let us out, and took a ride home and took a little power nap.
That's awesome.
And was fine.
Yeah. Still was
Precautionary about farting and stuff like that. Again, stun underwear.
Just wear them for the next week, man, just in case.
Yeah. Well, I'm good now. I let one go in ShopRite the other day. It was a pretty good. Oh, sorry.
Back to normal.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. There's that moment where you just let out a little test. You're like, I was like, oh, okay, I can go the rest of the way. Yeah, all right.
We're clear. Meanie, we are good for takeoff.
It's like when you're sipping coffee to see how hot it is. Like, oh, this is drinking temperature. Yeah. This is farting temperature.
This is farting temperature.
All right. I don't break wind. I destroy wind.
You fucking stop. You put physics, turn it upside down with your farts because it stops the wind, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot. I'm glad you shared your story about this because I think a lot of people are scared about going for testing, and it's really not that bad. You're just going to be shitting a lot, and then you're in and out. It's not as bad. It's not as invasive as it used to be. Back in the day, it used to be bad, but they are so advanced with what they do. Meaning, I was looking stuff up earlier. Did you know that colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women combined in the United States? And that of all cancers, colorectal cancer will take the most people's lives under 50 by 2030. 1 in 23 men and 1 in 26 women will be diagnosed with colorectal cancer. And people like myself who have a higher risk of that type of cancer should be screened earlier than 45. Those are just quick stats from the fightcolorectalcancer.org website. So if you are thinking about putting it off, as Meanie and I are both getting older now, and maybe you are too, it's probably a good idea to go out and get checked and, take care of yourself. A lot of the stuff is easily catchable. It's a very, if they catch it early, it's a very treatable form of cancer. And most people, there's 115 million or 150 million survivors of this cancer in the country alone. So, go get checked. Don't wait. If you think something's wrong, go get checked.
Yeah, definitely get it done, man. I am the biggest. I hate going to like. I spent a lot of my childhood in hospitals and doctors' offices. So the last thing I want to do as an adult is go to another fucking hospital or doctor's office. But this changed my view on what I thought it was going to be. And if, like you say, you're getting a little bit older, just get it done. Once you get one done, you're good for 10 years. You get one every 10 years. And dude, like, I was in the recovery and they gave me a piece of paper that had all my results right there. Like, the only thing they saw was like a slight thing called, not diverticulitis. It wasn't that. It was diverticulum, maybe? It's just like this little thing that they just removed.
Oh, wow.
Like, they saw it. They're like, oh, take that out and that's done. And there's like a portion they couldn't get to, so they might have to do like a small portion that the cameras couldn't reach.
I see.
I guess because maybe I'm a bigger guy. But I might have to go for a CAT scan to get the rest of it checked out. So, yeah, dude, the procedure is a piece of cake. Like I said, the worst, and it wasn't even that bad. It's just you have to clear your schedule for at least 2 days to, do the prep. Stop eating, do the prep, drink the liquid, like leading up to, because you're not supposed to do anything after midnight. Mm-hmm. And like a lunatic, like around 11:30, I downed a gallon of water. I was just like, I had a gallon of water at my feet, and I was just like, let me just drink this whole fucking thing right now. And just
pounding this motherfucker.
I don't recommend it to anybody because I'm an idiot, but I did it. And then it was just like, it was like that scene in the movie Flashdance when she pulls the fucking thing in the water. What a feel. What a feel. I was squid inking. I was Muda misting.
Painting the bowl, if you will.
A fucking Rorschach test. Fucking
nice Jackson Pollock treat.
Now this all sounds like I'm my cheap attempt at the potty humor, which you're right.
You're right, sir.
Yeah, got me. But seriously, get it done. If I can go through it, you can go. If I can get this test done, you can get this test done. So get it done early. Be good for 10 years, and then hopefully in another 10 years you're still good to go.
Yep. Yeah, that's it's like I said, there's plenty of research. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your general practitioner, whoever it is, and just go get the screening done. There's nothing. You have nothing to lose except all the poop inside of your belly. And then you get to probably pig out afterwards, which is what I'm going to do again when I have to go get mine done. I'm going to fucking pig out.
Yeah. Crackers, ginger ale, all that. That's like, oh.
Give me the greasiest fucking thing I can find, bro.
Yeah, man. We, what did we do? I was like, oh, we did an adult thing. Let's go get something to eat. And normally we go to the Oregon Diner. Mm-hmm. Because, it's a 10-minute walk from my house. But, I was like, fuck it. I was, recovering all day Thursday. And then Friday came around, and we're big fans of the show Marks and Reese, 94 WIP. Ike Reese, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons, and Johnny Marks, who's been in Philly sports talk forever. And him and Ike have one of my favorite sports talk shows in Philly. So they do a remote from Chicky and Pete's on Fridays. So. And this is how much Mrs. Meanie loves me. She's like, I hate Chicky and Pete's, but let's go see Marks and Reese. And we went over there. I hate him. It's just like for what you're spending and what you're getting, it's just like not. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you know,
It's an expensive place. Yeah.
yeah. It's like, you know, you leave still hungry, kind of, you know, for what you fucking paid for.
Yeah.
But
I think it's an experience. It's a Philly experience that everybody should do maybe one time, but just be prepared. You're probably going to stop at Wawa on the way home.
Yeah. And it was good to see Johnny Marks, Ike Reese, talked for, you know, they came over and said hello for a little bit and shoot the shit, shoot the breeze. And, no, it was good. It was a good time. No, not the colonoscopy.
Right. Yeah.
That was an okay time. You know, just,
6 out of 10. Wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Wasn't great.
I like to do things early, get it out of the way. That way you got the rest of the day to do whatever, and got it out of the way. Went home, rested. You know, caught up on all my YouTube viewing and stuff like that. I just sit there and watch clips all day. But yeah, it's just it was cool. It was cool from the perspective that, you know, I had somebody with me, you know, Mrs. Meanie, to help me along the way and research it, and she took care of me. Went to the shop where I got all the prep foods and liquids to keep me busy. You know, just kept consuming like water or Gatorade or whatever, just to keep my mind off of being hungry. You know, because, you know, you're basically just going to fast for 2 days, so you can't eat any solids. So, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but if you're thought about doing it, just do it.
Yep.
Just get the procedure done and have a little bit of peace of mind.
Yeah. I can't think of a good way to transition out of that. But I will let you know, Meanie, I went viral this week.
Yes, you did, my friend.
I went viral this week.
In a good way.
In a really good way. I'm glad. I hope it's always a good way that I go viral, but I did. Yeah.
Before we get into it, yeah. I'll say, good for you, man, for typing all that and having the screenshot. It's like anytime I go to post on Twitter, it's just like, okay, what's the feedback going to be this? And how soon do I delete this tweet before I fucking go, I don't fucking feel like dealing with it. So you had the presence of mind to write out a really good, thought out, thoughtful tweet with the photos and everything leading up to it. So kudos, but yeah, please.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And I appreciate you sharing and being a part of it.
Oh my God, I should share it again just to get enough. Because sometimes I'll post something, if it doesn't get enough traction, I'll retweet my own tweet, and then once it gets traction, I'll retweet it and then retweet it.
Yep, I did that. What was it? I think yesterday, the day before. Yeah, thank you. I had been kind of like thinking about this for a while, about this thread I was going to write about Jey Uso and how I've connected with the character, of main event Jey Uso in the Bloodline saga.
Yeah.
And before we keep going, I guess anybody who's listening, there's a trigger warning. I may discuss very briefly or, things about my own childhood abuse, but it's not going to be like in depth, right? But just as an idea, right?
Right.
So I was trying to figure out a way to really talk about this and kind of get what I was thinking about the story and about the character, how I was going to present it in a way that people could relate to. And I thought, well, why not just my best stuff typically always is when I'm just super personal and super raw. So I said, okay, let's do it. Let's just talk about this. And I didn't really plan on going too much into my personal life because I don't think that's the story at all. I think the story itself is the thread basically is just about how Jey Uso has been this character who's literally displaying the manifestations and the effects of someone who has suffered narcissistic abuse for a long time, and about how much I connect with that character in my own life and how inside the story, he's the guy that's going to topple the tribal chief, right? Like he's the real tribal chief and he's going to topple Roman Reigns eventually. And I think it's like 17 or 18 tweets. And I went through and I made my case, I said, this is the story and when it started, like I'm going through the feed right now. It's just like when it started and how he basically was just beaten into oblivion and how a lot of times that's the abuser's MO. It's just like, you're going to do whatever I tell you to do, and I'm going to make you do it, whether you like it or not. And it's all about power for the abuser and you know, narcissist. You know, Roman Reigns has this classic textbook narcissistic personality as the character. We're not talking about Joe on Hawaii. We're talking about the character. And it's a testament to how great these guys are. All of them, you know, Roman and Jey and Jimmy, Solo, Paul and Sammy. I mean, they're all just incredible pieces of this amazing story. And about basically just sharing in my own life, like, yeah, it's possible to get out of this. And Roman or Jey eventually is going to get away from the tribal chief. And eventually he's going to break free from his abuser, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. And I felt like I really had to, like, I don't want to say toe the line, but I had to, like, look at this in a way that I wasn't putting too much of myself into it, because I felt like if I got too much of my own personal stuff into it, you'd lose the thread of what I was talking about. And I went into the Jey Uso stuff, and even last night, you know, as you're listening to this, it's Monday, but last night, you know, we're recording on Saturday morning. Friday, you know, there's another thing about Jey Uso, you know, becoming, they're grooming him, quote unquote, to be the next tribal chief after, you know, Roman retires or whatever. And I was like, I fucking told you, like, this is the story, right? Like, this is how this story was always meant to end, right? It was never going to be about Sammy winning the title. It was never going to be about Cody winning the title. And I even have said it multiple times too, that the story itself, the win for Jey is not going to be the title. It's not going to be about, you know, the undisputed title. It's about reclaiming himself as an individual. So I share, you know, typically when I tweet something like this, and once I share it, you know, and I'll share it with a couple of people in my network, and they'll just blast it out. But all of a sudden, it just, like, it grew legs of its own, and it just started to take off, and it went crazy. So, like, right now I'm looking at the stats: 231 retweets, 130 quote tweets, 1,198 likes, and 197 bookmarks. It's the most viewed piece of Twitter content I've ever done.
Nice.
And again, like, I'm a writer. Like, I'm sure I've shared this on the show before. I was a writer in high school. I wrote for my hometown newspaper as a teenage reporter, and won an award for that. So this kind of stuff, telling stories, is not out of the ordinary for me. But yeah, it was a really cool, like I said, I was asked to be on a show called In the Weeds, which is a Fightful Overbooked, with Joel Pearl and Jeremy Lambert. Shout out to those guys. And they actually, if you want to watch the segment from that conversation, it's actually on Fightful's YouTube right now. So you can go and check that out, and I'll post it on the show notes for you. You can take a look at it. But we were talking about things, and I genuinely didn't expect this to connect with so many people, you know? Yeah. So, it was a cool experience, man. It was cool. And lots of amazing feedback from people too, you know, talking about their own lives and how they have, connected with the story too, and how much it's meant to them to see someone, you know, how great it's going to be to watch somebody in their own struggle come out of this. And it's just a really cool experience, something great to go viral for.
That's awesome, man. I'm so, I'm blown away by the depth of what you went to break down the story. Yeah. And, sometimes I'll just watch something and go, this is good or this is bad, and not really go into detail on why. I don't really go into details all the time of why I like it. I either like it or I don't. But the fact that you went to that length to, you know, go into detail, and you retained a lot of the story that I forgot about. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm reading this. I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Oh, that's right. You know, I'm like reading it. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking great. Yeah. And, you know, I shared it as much as I can. And, after this, I'll probably retweet it. And, you know, but, yeah, if you're out there listening, definitely go to, @This Is Goober, and, check out the thread, man. It's well worth a read. I'm amazed that, not amazed, but I appreciate the time you took to put that together. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And I'll be doing another spot, I think, next week with the High Spots podcast as well. They want to have me on to talk about it. So we'll share the links with our socials. But yeah, awesome. I mean, I'm glad you're getting out there, man.
Yeah, it's nice too. It's nice to, like, you know, I've got, again, lots of amazing people. Like, some ESPN writers shared it, and, you know, like, it went like all these different places. Like, holy shit, this is wild. But My next thread is probably going to be about Roman Reigns, the abuser, and how he became the tribal chief, and how the timeline of, I don't want to say abuse, but the things that happened to him as far as the character progression and how he became who he was, because any abuser, anyone who suffered from abuse by a narcissist or someone along those lines, or someone who just, has a borderline personality or whatever it is, they were also 99% of the time probably also suffered some form of abuse themselves.
Yes.
And that's the same in my own life. The person who abused me had some of the worst, just the most horrific abuse that I can't, we only know a handful of things that happened. And they're some of the worst things I've ever heard. And, that caused this person to be who they are today. So it's interesting to tell that story as well, because, you have trouble, it's not that I forgive my abuser for what they did, but I understand why they are the way that they are. Right. And I think that's a really important part of people's trauma and coming out of that, and the acceptance part of it when you're going through therapy and working through your issues. It's like, you're never going to get the forgiveness and the closure that you want, but I think it's definitely possible to understand why they are in the positions that they are. And that's a really important, it took me a long time to get there. And I still struggle with that for here and there, but I really appreciate everybody who has responded and has shared their stories with me in my DMs or have hit me up because of this. Everybody that shared it, shout out to the Public Enemies podcast and Cameron Hawkins and Andreas Hale and all the guys out there, and Meanie, everyone who shared the story, and the thread. It's really been, it's been incredible. So I wanted to say thank you to everyone for that. And, I will share the links and stuff in the show notes for the thread itself. It's also, like Meanie said, it's pinned at the top of my page. So nice. You can go check it out there. But I got to get rid of this fucking blue check mark, man. I'm telling you, it's like the scarlet letter. I fucking got, Elmo's Twitter on the Hellscape Bird app just because I wanted to share longer videos for Foundation Radio. And I keep changing my profile pictures to it'll be gone in a couple of days, right? Like I canceled it because I don't want to fucking deal with this anymore. But I changed my profile picture and it's like, fuck, it comes back. It's like a bad fucking boomerang, or a fucking STD. Like it just never stops showing up and I fucking hate it.
There was this weird fucking, thing you could do if you put former blue checkmark in your profile thing, the checkmark would come back. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Oh, man, it's a scarlet letter, man. It really is. We got to get you verified on fucking Instagram though. That's something
I've tried and I don't know how to fucking do it.
One of these days I'm going to walk you through how to do it, because I was able to do it. And I think if I can do it and I'm a fucking nobody, the Blue Meanie, who is a somebody, can definitely do it. So,
you're too kind.
Yeah, I'll walk you through it. Like I said, it's a couple of things, and then you got to send them your ID, but at least it won't be in Elmo's, personal archives. Did you know also too, baseball is back, as we spoke about earlier. Kyle Schwarber hit his 69th home run as a Philadelphia Philly.
Nice.
On 6-9.
Dude, I fucking was watching the game last night and fucking Dodgers tied it up. Like they were up 4-1, and then they took Ranger Suarez out, who had a fucking gem of a game. Mm-hmm. They took him out, and then I forget who they brought in, long hair dude. Fucking of course he gives they tied the fucking game up. They get down to the ninth. This is why I love sports. I love pro wrestling too, but I love it. And pro wrestling is a sport, but this is why I love sports, traditional sports. They fucking, the Phillies hold off the Dodgers. It gets tied. They hold them off. Get down to the ninth inning. Last fucking hitter, Kyle Schwarber. It's either they're going to go home or go to extra innings. And just fucking blasted the fucking ball. He fucking hit that ball. So it almost went into the second fucking deck. And just the reaction, they did a couple replays. They show him hit it. They show the ball, go in the crowd. Then they show his reaction. Then they show the dugout reaction. And then he's running the bases. And I love when there's like a walk-off home run and everybody crowds the fucking home plate and you dive into the pit. It's like a little little mosh pit and stuff like that. But the Phillies have been doing this tradition with like whoever wins the game, they'll douse them. And but like before they douse them, they'll throw a whole bunch of shit into the Gatorade bucket or whatever you want to call it, the water cooler or whatever. So they're dousing them, and there's like all these things of gum. There's like there's a tangerine in there. There's like all this crazy shit, and like there's like a period of time where they were just running up with Dixie cups and just pouring little cold waters in Dixie cups. It's like this is what I like about this Phillies team. You can tell there's like a bond there, just like they all get along. It's all good. And the thing is, the Phillies hit the fucking skids for like 6 games.
Yeah,
6 games below. But now I think they won their 6th game in a row, and they're just about to get to 500. And forever, Schwarber just fucking goes the fuck off in June every year. But I think, and there's so much fucking talent on this team that they should have a better record. You know what I'm saying? But either the pitching will do well and the bats will go cold, or the bats will be hot and the pitching kind of shits the bed. But it seems like they're kind of like getting on the same page. Where the pitching's getting better, the guys are hitting. Trey Turner's finally starting to hit. A lot of people were like, "Oh fuck, did we get the Trey Turner at the wrong point in his career?" Because his bats were going for a little cold for a little bit. But now he's coming. He's back. Nick Castellanos is starting to fucking hit again. He's like an every other kind of year kind of guy. But Castellanos is fucking doing great. And it's going pretty good.
Yeah.
So, happy with the Phillies. Eagles OTAs happened this week.
Yep.
It's amazing, like how stuff can happen in football. Like they do all these transactions and stuff like that, and then like go to OTs, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, we have DeAndre Swift now. Holy shit, I forgot.
Totally forgot about this. Yeah.
Yeah. I take off my football hat for a little bit, and when it comes to time to put my football hat back, when I go, oh shit, yeah, we got DeAndre Swift, and holy shit, look at all these new fucking fun pieces we have. Jordan Davis, and holy shit, Jalen Carter, and I think Jalen Carter broke a fucking tackling sled the other day.
Oh shit!
It's like awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited.
I am looking forward to. I'm a big. It's getting warm out, so I'm looking forward to catching some Phillies baseball coming up very soon. But I have an answer, sir. I'd like to catch from you.
Oh,
you see how I tied it in there with the baseball theme today, Meanie. I have a question for you first. Aha. Got a question for you, pal.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
Hopefully you had your gimmick underwear on there. Don't forget. Don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them on the program if we enjoy your questions, which we always do. Mark and Dryden wants to know, since it's coming up soon, guys, what's your favorite Money in the Bank cash-ins?
Of all time?
Mm-hmm.
Probably have to be CM Punk when, like, the fucking Money in the Bank was, like, the opening match at WrestleMania for a couple of years there. Yeah, I was like to go to, like, and, yeah, it would probably have to be CM Punk's fucking cash in the bank. I forget which WrestleMania. I think he did 2 WrestleManias in a row.
Where he cashed in?
Where he won the briefcase. But, yeah, that would definitely have to be one of them.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to see when he cashed it in. Looks like, let's see, it looks like 2011 is when he cashed it in. So, outside of, I would say CM Punk is probably my answer, but I loved the Big E cash in as well from 2021.
Yeah.
That was a great fucking moment, man. I'll tell you. Yeah, I would say that. I enjoyed Liv Morgan's too. I thought that was great. I thought that was a great moment for her, sort of passing the torches as well.
Asuka did a pretty good one too.
Yeah. I don't think there's really been one that I would say maybe Austin Theories I didn't enjoy. I didn't really get where they were going with that. I think it was, I wonder if that was a plan before they merged the titles together. And then it was like, okay, well, now what do we do? So I think they did him a disservice. And with Baron Corbin, I think when his cash in wasn't successful, I think that they did a disservice to him. But Sam Parmy wants to know, what musical instrument would you want to play if you had the choice to do so?
Man, I tried to learn guitar. It sucked. Then I was like, if I suck at guitar, maybe I could do good at bass. I don't know why. I don't know where that theory came from, but would probably have to be bass, though. Like, I admire drummer. Like, I would probably love to play drums, but I have no fucking rhythm. That's a lot, man. You're constantly fucking moving. Guitar, you could just stand there a little bit and just strum a little bit. But, Chris Slade from fucking AC/DC. We talk about, like, there's certain songs where, like, talking about the tempo of, like, I forget what song it was. Let There Be Rock, maybe. And the fucking drum beats just fucking relentless. And, and then, like, there's, like, a little breakdown part, and then you kind of gotta keep that fucking rhythm going. So I don't know if I would have the fucking stamina to be a fucking drummer, but bass player, kind of laid back. Bass player and drummers are pretty much locked in together. Yeah. As far as instruments and rhythm and stuff like that, I think I get him to be in a bass player.
I think I would. I mean, I played drums when I was in middle school and high school. I haven't played in years, but I think if I was going to pick it up again, I would do that. That would be my choice. Meanie.
Yes, sir.
Baseball is back, and I know everyone wants to hit a home run, but you can't do that when your untrimmed bush is starting to look like Wrigley Field. Get your game on point with Manscaped, and you can start scoring on and off the field with their top-notch grooming products trusted by 8 million men worldwide. Grab some Cracker Jacks, a hot dog, and a Lawnmower 4.0, and let's play ball. Don't forget to use the promo code MindMeanie for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. And Meanie, I want to ask you, since we love baseball here at the program and we also love our sponsors, Manscaped, how have they helped you keep your baseballs clean?
Hey, I just turned 50. This is my 50th summer around the sun, and I'm all about the Weed Whacker 2.0. Let me tell you, man. I'm getting a little bit older there, so the nose hairs and the ear hairs are becoming a little bit more prominent. I need to trim those bad boys, because when I sneeze, those nose hairs sound like the crack of a bat off of shore bomb. So the Weed Whacker 2.0 has been keeping me looking good on the mound.
I love that analogy there, sir. Manscaped has the full package for your package this season. The Performance Package 4.0 checks off every box and is the 5-star tool that you've been searching for your balls club. To start it off, the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer is getting hyped as the Bryce Harper of trimmers, and after using it, my confidence level is sky high. In and out quickly to get the job done in just a few minutes, meaning something that Rob Manfred can't say about anything. Also included is the Weed Whacker. The nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in all of those delicate holes. Going up to the plate against Zach Wheeler is tough enough. De-hair your nostrils this season with the Weed Whacker 2.0 so you can take your best shot at it. Rumor and innuendo, Meanie, I don't know if you heard this, but one of the league's biggest issues during the lockout was legalizing the use of ball deodorant and ball toner for players. Did you hear that?
In the offseason, it was a hot stove topic.
I've heard that, but luckily you don't have to worry about getting kicked out of the league for having clean and good-smelling balls with Manscaped. The Crop Preserver is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer, which we both know when we're sitting up there in the stands at Citizens Bank eating our hot dogs and our Federal Donuts. The chafing is real life, sir. And the Crop Reviver spray-on toner for your balls, because you never know when you're going to need a little pep in your step to be at the top of your game. Clean up below the waist this year in 2023 with the best lineup from Manscaped. Trim your bat and balls and get into the MVP discussion this season. Most valuable player, of course, with the promo code MindMeanie for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the promo code MindMeanie at manscaped.com. And we want to thank, as always, Manscaped for sponsoring the program.
Thank you.
Pod Squad member Nate Smythe wants to know, Meanie and Adam, what is your absolute dream car? Pretend money isn't an object.
Weird. Not weird. Maybe weird because I was kind of thinking of this the other day, like, if I had one of like the Powerball or something like that. So this question is kind of like, it's ironic. Is it ironic that it's coming up now? That I was kind of thinking of this. But when I was a kid, like, being a Van Halen mark, Eddie always talked about having a Lamborghini. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. But then I started seeing people, like, well before it became a thing, a normal thing to have, people driving Humvees. I was like, ooh, that looks kind of cool, But then I realized, you have to fucking get like diesel for that, and you're probably paying out the ass for gas. But for me, and I've heard this from like veteran wrestlers, like old school wrestlers. I would fucking get like a Lincoln Town car, like an OG Lincoln Town car, because from everyone I've talked to, you drive it and you feel like you're just floating on a fucking cloud. Like, even if you had a fucking pothole, you're not feeling like my car now, which I drive decent, not because I want to drive it, but it's ideal for South Philly. You need a small car in South Philly if you're going to fucking park anywhere. So, but when you hit a pothole, you're like, God damn it.
Yep.
Fucking hell. Yeah, there's like a PTSD that comes along with fucking driving in South Philly. And, but if I, could buy any car and have ample parking, probably like a Lincoln Town car. My favorite car, I've ever had was a Dodge Aspen. It's like a 78 Dodge Aspen. I drove it and I felt like I was floating on air. It felt like, I just felt like I was, hovering.
Wow.
It was that smooth of a fucking ride. The front seat was like a fucking couch. It looked like an unmarked cop car. So like, I would drive it when I was driving to high school. I would and my friend Justin, from Farpoint Toys, his stepdad at the time was a Atlantic City police officer and gave me one of those patches. So I would keep it on the fucking dashboard of my car, and I'd park somewhere like I probably shouldn't park, and I wouldn't get a ticket because somebody was like, "Oh, that's undercover." Yeah, I could park at spots and nobody would really fucking break my balls because they thought my car was an undercover cop car.
I love it.
But it was a white 7.8 Dodge Aspen, but smoothest car. But if I could just buy any car, and money is no object, like a nice black Lincoln Town car.
Yeah.
With the I would get it with the amenities you can have now with like the touchscreen shit, though.
Yeah.
If I can get the Pimp My Ride guys to fucking gimmick it up and put in the shit I want.
Yeah.
I want some touchscreen shit. I want some satellite radio shit. I want to be able to put on my own fucking music shit. Old school car with some new school features.
Yep. I would say if like my dream car, I've always wanted a Volkswagen.
Really?
I love the Volkswagen. Like, I love the ride. I've always enjoyed driving them. There's a Volkswagen, I think is it a Taos? Taos? I don't know how you say it. Taos. Taos. I'm not fucking good with this shit. But it's an SUV. Like, I love it. That would be, if I had the money to drop on it, I definitely would. because I'm a music guy in my car. Like I love to have, good sounding car. And, typically back in the day, I would get the speakers changed and I'd add, subwoofers and shit and a new head unit and everything. But that stuff all comes pretty much stock now. So, I would say if money wasn't an object, I would probably buy that. I can only say that like my favorite cars are probably the ones that I used to drive when I would be at Bam's house. He had this, I think it was a Bentley. The last time I saw him was 2017, and Novak and I we were taking him from the castle to Bam's new place. Well, it was his new place in Westchester, so I could go home because Sophie had just been born like a week before, and this Bentley was, unlike anything I've ever driven before. It was unbelievable, like just
really
beautiful car, and jet black, tinted windows. It was rolling deep, like we had a present in the back seat. And, it was fucking that I would say that would probably be my favorite car. But I've been lucky to drive a significant amount, a decent amount of like really nice vehicles, mostly because, everybody was wasted and I'm the only one with my license. So like, here, Bernard, you drive. I'm like, cool. Fine. Someone's going to buy me something later. So, stopping at Wawa, give me an energy drink or something. But yeah, I would say probably that Bentley was probably like the nicest one. But yeah, I would say, Nate, that would be what I'm looking for. So, last question today, Summer of Juice. Mr. Primetime Grape wants to know, Meanie, have you ever farted in a movie theater?
In the movie theater?
Yes, sir.
That's like a throwaway Alanis Morissette fucking line right there. Did she let you fart in a theater? I've done plenty of things in movie theaters, but I'm sure I've let one go.
Yeah.
Probably the hardest I've left in a theater. Like, what's the hardest I've left? But I'm sure I've left plenty hard, but like the one that keeps coming into mind is Wayne's World. I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, man.
And Wayne and who's the girl? T. Career, her character.
Oh yeah.
They go onto the rooftop and he's trying to profess his love and he starts learning her language, Cantonese, and she says something to me and he just looks at her and goes, "Ichicha-moi." I'm like, what? It just hit me out of nowhere that he just started speaking this like language perfectly. I just fucking died. And he started like quoting Dick Van Patten. And I'm just like,
Dick Van Patten, how? I remember. Yep. I remember.
Fucking floored me.
Yeah.
Like, laugh so hard. Ever laugh so hard you see white?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I laughed so hard. I probably farted.
I'm sure.
I haven't done this in ages. I'm sad I can't do it. Like, laugh and your fart goes along with your laugh. Like, ha, ha, ha. Just like,
yeah.
Yeah. I haven't pulled out one of those in a while. But,
love it, man.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm sure I have. I just haven't documented it.
Well, thank you, everyone, for asking your questions.
Yeah, of course.
We appreciate you every week. Make sure you tweet us your questions using the hashtag @AskMeanie, and you may hear them asked on the program, Meanie. It's always a great time to do this program with you. And I just want to know, as, during the week, they're like, oh, I need my blue filling. Where can people find you on social media?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, @Blue Meanie BWO, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, @Blue Meanie BWO. Support the Blue Meanie. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. Support Mind and Me. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com. Mind and Me. It needs to be noted that now the warmer weather is here. A lot of our shirts at Pro Wrestling Tees are tank top optional. Ooh. I just thought of that this morning. I was like, you know what? A lot of people don't know. You can take one of our shirt designs and scroll through and pick out a tank top. So if you want a Blue Meanie BWO tank top or you want a Minor Meanie tank top, ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie or Mind of DeMeanie. Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand. Go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use coupon code Meanie or use coupon code MIND and save 10% over at collarandelbowbrand.com. Shout out to Rod Hicks. MadCatBeardCare.com. Go get yourself the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to Josh Thornton. Hopefully he's not waking up and hearing my voice and thinking somebody's in this house right now. He's doing a great job over there at MadCatBeardCare.com. All proceeds go to taking care of the feral cats in this area. He rounds them up, takes them to the vet, and releases them back, all healthy and good to go. So shout out to Josh Thornton over at MadCatBeardCare.com. The Figure Collections Bone Crushing Wrestler Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shopfigurecollections.com. Get the old school Blue Meanie or get yourself the BWO variant. There are no wrong choices. To have the Blue Meanie appear on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's PODSTARZ.net. Register and then schedule an interview with the Blue Meanie. Shout out to Jim Nilsson over at glaciersofIce.com. Jim made a 3 of 3 only handmade custom BWO Air Jordan 1 sneakers for Stevie, Nova, and myself. Each pair takes Jim about 50 hours per pair to make these awesome shoes. So if you want to see Jim make these awesome shoes, follow Jim on all forms of social media at GOI Kicks. That's GOI Kicks to watch the videos and the photos of these awesome shoes. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. I just did 2 this week, and they're a lot of fun to do. So if you want to make somebody's day a little bit brighter, and you need my help, go to cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But most importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on all forms of social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and also Mastodon, which I'm still on, but I don't really use that frequently. This is Goober. Yes, that's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand pal, so you can check me out there. Don't forget to go to brothersgaddor.com right now and pick up your limited edition Adam Barnard Wrestle Buddy. There are only a handful left right now. Only 25 in existence. So once they're gone, and we're never making them again. You can also get yourself a 2-pack. That's right, Meanie. 2-pack. Mind of the Meanie with myself and Blue here. You can pick it up right now by going to brothersgaddor.com. Don't forget to go and check out the Feinberg method. Not just physical wellness, but also mental well-being as well. You can train with my trainer, Brad Feinberg. Use promo code Goober and save up to 20% on your entire purchase by going to thefeinbergmethod.com. 10th Ward Barbershop. I want to give a shout out to my friends out there in Lawrenceville in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Go ahead and schedule your appointment today with Kane or Jordan or the rest of the crew out there. 10th Ward Barbershop. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio, ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Go ahead and pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa de Meanie and the Barnard home for the wayward and troubled youth. Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today and become part of the Pod Squad and join us each time we record, early and ad-free. So you see our beautiful faces every time we record, and you get to see the shit we talk about on the show in the back end. So don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating wherever you listen to the show. Subscribe. Make sure you share this with your friend or your family or just a random passerby on the street. If you do go down to Chicky and Pete's and as you're like, listen, I spend an exorbitant amount of money, the least you can do is subscribe to my favorite podcast, Mind of the Meanie. So we appreciate you, and Meanie, I appreciate you as well doing the show. Want to give a special thank to our sponsors, Manscaped, for sponsoring the program this week. We will be back with an all-new episode next week, next Monday, same bat time, same bat channel for the Blue Meanie. I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip to the mind
Blue World Order
of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is produced by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Mind of the Meanie and become our patron on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brand.